get the Iraqi army to leave its base.
اوكي على الراس انتوا اللي خذوهم ما ريتوا الأخيرة السيارة كانت سيارة لا ما شو وين آخر سيارة
Drove out to this road, this sort of rural road that leads to Echo Company's Ford operating base. And there had been problems with insurgents firing mortars from that rural area into the base. So the idea was we wanted to get out there with some Iraqi troops and see if we couldn't gather some intelligence on local insurgents, maybe even catch some guys who had been perpetrating these attacks, and at the same time train up the Iraqis to do this stuff themselves. So we set up a roadblock. The Americans, we put one Humvee at one end of the road and another Humvee at the other end, and trucks and cars coming either way. You'd stop them. You'd bring one into the middle, and the Americans would, at that point, step back and let the Iraqis do the actual search of the car. That helped because the Iraqis speak the language, the Iraqi troops speak the language, so there's no miscommunication there. And it also gets them more comfortable with this, the hands-on part of the work. And also the men being searched are more comfortable being searched by a fellow Iraqi than by an American. And these were all men. If there were women in the car, you didn't search the women or children. You only pulled the adult men out of the car. The women stayed in the car. Sort of a consequence of Iraqi sexual mores. You don't mess with the women. So we'd pull the Iraqis would pull the male drivers out and pat them down and talk to them. Just find out where you're coming from, where are you going to, have you seen anything locally that might be suspicious, or anything that might be insurgents dropping mortars onto the Ford operating base. The Iraqis picked up a lot of useful skills, like when you search a car, you've got to have one guy standing at an angle, covering it with his weapon, while the other guy gets in there and opens the doors and pulls out the driver. And they learned how to search a suspect and to pat him down, and also picked up some people skills. If the Iraqis were too rough, the American officer, his name was Lieutenant Derek Austin, would step in and say, "Hey, look, you need to. This guy's not an insurgent, or he's innocent until proven guilty. Just treat him nice, and the nicer you treat him, the more information he's going to give you. You know, make friends while you're also searching out bad guys. You make friends, and they're going to give you information." I'm not sure that on that patrol we actually got any tips, but on most patrols, when you go out like this and you're interacting with locals, even at a roadblock, at a checkpoint, you're going to pick up some information. You know, guys will point out houses where they say Alibaba, you know, that's their slang for an insurgent lives, or they'll give you a description of a car that recently arrived in the area and they don't know who it belongs to. So anything suspicious, they'll point this out.
Please. Have him open up all the doors. That's the way I do it, but... Do you have a list? Yeah. Okay. Put that back there. Allah ya. Ya Allah. Search the people. You guys. يقول لك انت تفتش.
Freelance journalist David Axe shot this video in February while embedded with the U.S. Army's 4th Infantry Division near Balad, Iraq. You can watch this or other C-SPAN programming on Iraq at any time by visiting our website. Click on the Iraq link at cspan.org.